Guys, it's Steve Bernstein here from Inflection Point Intelligence. I have with me Thanda and Matthew Jarvis, who are currently enrolled in the Henley Business School online executive hedge fund program. And thanks, guys, for joining. I appreciate it.
Thank
No,
you.
thank you.
So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, just so because people call us all the time and say, they heard about the course, they want to get more information, and they want to get some ideas about people who've taken the course. So that's why I'm reaching out to you. So if you can, maybe Thanda, start off with you. Can you just introduce yourself and what you do for a living?
Sure. My name is Thanda. I work as a sales and account manager at Bridge, which is essentially a human insights company that connects investment companies with industry specialists for their fundamental research. So basically, I cover existing and new clients, and this could be across hedge funds, private equity funds, management consultants, and mutual funds.
Okay, great. Matthew?
Hi, I'm Matthew Jarvis. I'm a sales executive at Line Data QRMO, and we're an outsourced fund service provider. So that is trade processing, reconciliation, risk management, and shadow P&L. And the majority of our clients are hedge funds.
So let me ask. I just want to start off on saying what motivated you to sign up for the hedge fund program. Matt, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so originally I was looking for, to do some kind of further education beyond, your university degree within the industry. And I was actually looking at, CFA or KIA originally, but I wanted something maybe a bit more practical and specific to hedge funds, seeing as I was working at the time within the hedge fund industry. So yeah, I decided to look at the Henley hedge fund program, and, a few contacts of mine had taken it. They only had good things to say about it, very practical in nature. There's a lot of current and former industry people teaching the course. So it really appealed to me. And after actually sitting down with you, Steve, and doing a bit more research, I decided to go ahead this year and join the class of 2020.
Okay, great. And before we'll get into how it's going, but Thanda, what about yourself? What made you want to sign up for it?
Yeah, so I really just wanted to know my clients better, and part of the reason why I love my job is the client-facing role, and I really believe that to be able to service them better, I do need to know more than just about what they're investing in, sorry. And I was also curious and wanted to have a better up-to-date knowledge of the insights and outs of a hedge fund client, how they really manage portfolio risks, the compliance complexity they face these days, and essentially the current challenges, as well as other risks that they are grappling with on a day-to-day basis. So I had the fortune of meeting you, Steve, and after reading more about what Henley Hedge Fund course does, and also after looking at the modules and the course structure, I got really interested. And I believe that this course would help me become a better discussion partner with my clients, understand their pains, and how I could help with their gains. So I think that's really the essential reason why I took this course.
I think that's good. I think the phrase discussion partner is a really good one. It's interesting because a lot of people are in the hedge fund space, but they're in their own little sector. The lawyers really understand how to put a PPM together, but they don't necessarily know operations, and the operations people don't necessarily know anything about portfolio management. So the course was designed to be high-level practical knowledge, but it's like learning a language, right? It's like learning Spanish or French. Once you know the language of hedge funds and some of the terminology, it makes you a better discussion partner. So I actually like that phrase. That's pretty good. So how's it going so far? I'm curious about, is it what you expected, challenging? Have you found it to be what you expected going in? Matt, what about you?
I'm almost done with the course. And so far so good. It's pretty much what I expected. A lot of industry professionals sharing their knowledge and touching on each side of a hedge fund. In terms of difficulty, I wouldn't call it difficult as such. In my previous role, I had a lot of exposure to different areas of hedge funds. So for me, it was more about sharpening my vocabulary and, saying something with confidence, instead of before, I would say something having read it, but I wouldn't have actually done the study behind it and, what causes, each area of the hedge fund to be the way it does. So that part's been really good. And, touching again on the teachers, it's quite good when they come out with war stories as well. Some of them have been in the industry since the 80s or the 90s, and the industry has definitely changed. There's a few crises to thank for that. So yeah, I think overall it is pretty much what I expected. However, I had done a lot of research coming into the course.
Okay, no, like myself, I've been, I was at Solomon Brothers and, on the floor if you read the book Liar's Poker, I worked on that trading floor for many years in the 80s and early 90s. So the business has changed quite a bit, I would say, for the better in many cases too. And, we do have a bunch of teachers and a bunch of, when I say teachers, they teach a course, but they're professionals. They go back to work on Monday. No one's an academic, and we have some that are very, they have some great stories. And, some of the stuff you can't read in the book, right? It's just these stories are based on true real life experiences. And sometimes you can read a lot about theory about hedge funds, but learning it from the experts is important. Thanda, what about yourself?
Yeah, so I agree that the access to professionals that have years and years of experience in the industry, they have been through the crisis as well. It's really what I really enjoy the most. It's kind of like what my company does as well, which is to present industry specialists that have on the ground knowledge to our investment clients, and that's not easily attainable, accessible. You need to have some sort of platform that enables you to speak to or find these professionals. And it's great that I'm introduced to through this course various professionals that that have a lot of experience in specifically the verticals that they're covering, be it compliance or prime brokerage or trading. And it's not like I can just go onto LinkedIn and ask them out for coffee easily to be able to attain that knowledge. So I think this is just a great platform for me to be able to do it through the online videos as well. But also knowing that there is a chat group where I can easily reach out to them and be able to further explore areas that I do not understand well or I'm interested in. So what is also really important is that the insights and thoughts that they share are not outdated, and also include forward-looking views on the hedge fund landscape. Essentially, they are just really current. Whether or not it's challenging, I think the most challenging part is really just time management. For outside learning on top of the daily work life. But like I said, the structure of the online videos really help to make it an enjoyable process.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's tough to, find the time to put everything together. But the old saying is, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person, because a busy person always finds time to get stuff done. And so, we had over 300 people take the course around the world, and we get together. There's industry events and cocktails, and we do those in the major cities when we're allowed to, and things are available. But we try to do a lot of online networking too. So I think that's important. The other thing, the last thing I want to touch on was kind of who would benefit from taking the course, because the course is not really. It's designed for everyone in the hedge fund space. It's not designed just for someone who wants to launch a hedge fund or set up a hedge fund. Actually, most of the people who've taken it, we've had 5 or 6 people set up their own funds, but a lot of them are people moving from sell to buy, or people that want to brush up their knowledge. But who do you guys think, Thanda, I'll start with you, would benefit from taking the course?
Yeah, definitely sell side people like myself, whether or not we want to switch to the role to a role on the buy side, and of course anyone looking to build a career in the hedge fund world. They could be on the private equity side. They could be doing something else. They could even be within the hedge fund industry, but they really need to understand the whole value chain within the hedge fund world. I think it would be beneficial for them as well, or even a portfolio manager that needs to understand what are the pains that my compliance officer goes through specifically, then they can actually take this course to understand from someone who's got experience outside of, the person that he works with within his own firm to get various perspective. And lastly, I think, anyone who's curious, who wants to build up knowledge in the finance world, and, would like to know more about how sophisticated investors slash institutional clients try to make money. So it's really diverse.
Yeah, I really get a charge out of really enjoy when people take the knowledge that they learn and apply it, whether it's in a hedge fund or not. We have people that have gone into private equity, which a hedge fund is private equity, and just public markets. We've had people set up their own. We had a woman who used to work in wealth management. She set up her own fashion company, and she said she used a lot of the information she used in the course because she had to raise capital, legal, tax, audit, compliance, all these things, pitch book preparation, capital raising, all the things that we teach and part of the course apply to other things as well, so to me, that's a side benefit. Matt, what do you think about who would benefit from the course?
It's pretty hard to add to what Thanda just touched on, but essentially a lot of the research that I did before taking the course, a lot of people came back trying to encapsulate the course as a mini COO course. So in terms of who would benefit from that, obviously anyone who eventually wants to, move towards becoming a COO or working the operations side of a hedge fund. But working professionals, both service providers and within the hedge funds, just, I think in the era of specialization, everyone's almost got blinkers on like a racing horse. And, they're just focusing on what their goal, their task is, or what their day-to-day role is, and don't actually, get to look side to side and actually see, like what Thanda said, person in operations is doing, what the guys in risk are doing, what the investment team are doing, who those guys, investor relations, what do they do? So I think that, we just wanted to get an idea of what actually goes on around you. Would definitely benefit from the course. And I actually think, investors and, people in family offices, so they can understand the business side of a hedge fund, not just, if you're going to invest in a hedge fund, it's obviously good, returns are good, and, how it fits into your portfolio is very good. But if you could actually understand that other side of the business, I think you'd invest, probably much wiser and, with much more confidence, knowing what goes on, behind the scenes in a hedge fund. I think that's the only thing to add to what Thanda said.
All right, great. We actually had some people that work in family offices and some families take the course for exactly that reason. They would think about, should I set up my own hedge fund? And I'm already investing in hedge funds. I should know more about it. So we did have, some people in the wealth management. And I find a lot of people in wealth management, their clients, sometimes it's easy to get more sophisticated. So you want to keep up, right? You want to keep up with, the products and opportunities that your clients are investing in. So I think that's great. Thank you both very much. I really appreciate you taking the time. I think it's going to be helpful for people who, are taking a look at the course. And I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Steve.